All right, it says that we are live. Hello, everyone. How are all of you today? I think I'm doing fantastic. I think all of you are going to be doing fantastic as well. I'm just going to assume that. I can make assumptions. Look at that. I just did. So, we are going to be talking about the Twitter purge. Is it a good idea? Did I make a huge mistake? I guess we will find out. We're going to be doing this podcast style, so nothing visual is going to be shown. So if you want to put your phone down and listen to some headphones while you're doing something more productive than what I'm doing right now, you have that option. With me, I have Ashley. She goes by Blonde Space Cat on Blue Sky and Twitter, I believe. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Ashley. I go by Blonde Space Cat. There's not really much to me. I'm not an internet person. I'm not a content creator. I just post dumb things when I feel like it. That's about it.
Excellente. All right, people, let me go ahead and get you up to speed, and we're going to go ahead and get on into it. So, a few months ago, I started my exit from Twitter. You see what I did there? See, I can make it funny. I started my exit from Twitter, although it wasn't really a goal of mine to...
I think you muted yourself there, Reds.
Muted myself for you. just for you, but not for the audience. Just I'll fix that later on. Okay, all right, perfect. Anyway, let me start from the beginning so that you know where I left off and everything like that. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are amateurs here. So, I started I started my exit from Twitter. Again, see what I did there. And it wasn't really my intention to completely leave the platform until some other more provocative shit started appearing on my timeline, and then it just compounded on itself to essentially force me to come to the conclusion that Twitter was becoming a massive shithole, and I wanted to get the hell up out of Dodge. And one of the main things that I hated about the platform was their two-tiered system. I really didn't like that. I don't like what they did with the block feature. I don't like what they did with the like feature. I also don't like how they're basically shadow banning accounts nowadays. I heard a rumor from Big Mike. I have no way of verifying if this is true or not, but Big Mike is saying that if you have Blue Sky in your handle or in your description anywhere, they will shadow ban your account. And I've noticed as soon as I added my Blue Sky account name to my banner, my viewership just tanked off a cliff. Not that I was, really, concerned about that, because I kind of purged all my blue check Twitter followers anyway. But that's another thing that was happening. There's just a lot of fuckery going on the platform right now, and I just did not like it. So I voiced my displeasure, and that's where Ashley came in. Ashley came in and posted on Twitter saying that it was a very disappointing move on my part that I was going to leave Twitter. And so at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ashley to explain why she believed it was a disappointing move on my part.
So I wrote some notes to myself so I don't go off onto some long tangents. So when that all happened, I first of all, I didn't know that you had already had intentions to leave the platform. I have watched your lives before, but if you had been talking about it before, I definitely missed it. I kind of saw it, I guess, on the tail end of when you had started mentioning it. I also just want to preface this by saying one thing. If you go to my Twitter account, or you'll see that I made my account in May of 2022. I might have made it by then, but I only started actually using the platform and maybe posting here and there and looking at stuff probably about 9 to 10 months ago. So I realized very quickly that I'm kind of screwed in this conversation, because your comparison versus my comparison are going to be wildly different, right? So I guess I just have questions. Like, I don't have an idea of do you remember when Elon Musk took over Twitter? When was that?
I have no idea. I'm sure Google can tell us.
After I came on, right, though?
Probably.
Like after
yeah.
okay, so...
Let's see. When did Elon buy Twitter. Let's see what the Google said. All right, so he bought Twitter on April 14, 2022, according to the Googles.
Okay. So, yeah, so you hate the two-tier system. So all of the things I noticed that you obviously don't like are things I guess I didn't really know. Like I don't have a comparison. So I'll give you an example. You talked about the likes not being public, and then mentioned something about Elon Musk and gay porn. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
The story goes that Elon Musk got caught liking gay porn on Twitter, and he didn't want that information getting out. And listen.
Why would he do that though?
If that's how you roll, no shame. There's no shame if that's how you roll and that's what you like. You do you. If you like hardcore anime tentacle porn, you show that shit off. But
You're proud, my friend.
Afterwards, what he did after getting caught, he's like, oh, you can like any tweet you want and I won't tell anyone. And that's when people found out that, wait a minute, likes aren't public. And what the hell? We didn't ask for this.
So I didn't even know that. I didn't know that until I actually listened to the rest of the stream. I didn't realize that likes were public, or that I've never really tried to check, I guess. And I didn't know that they used to be. So I found that kind of interesting. The block feature, so what is it exactly about is it the fact that you can still see people's posts?
Basically, it was the like and the like feature was that if you clicked on the tweet, you could click on the information part of the tweet and find out.
And it would show you a list?
Yeah, it would give you a list of who liked that tweet. It gives you the ability to find like-minded individuals, and like-minded individuals would probably be individuals that you follow. So, for example, if I see a flat earther post on Twitter and they say, Earth is flat, space is fake, blah, 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 and I see a tweet underneath it that says, you're full of shit and this is why, insert proof here of curvature.
You can see the likes and then choose to follow some of those people.
Exactly. You choose people that are in this fight against flat earth stupidity. Well, Elon Musk took away that ability.
So is that story is that story confirmed?
I think it is. I'm going to go with yes, simply because it's funnier that way.
I agree. That's actually hilarious.
Yes.
I'd almost like to see what it was he liked.
Let's just assume it was some hardcore raunchy shit, and he was embarrassed, and I'm like, bro, just wear it on your sleeve and move on. No one cares. That's the thing. No one cares. So Elon Musk buys the platform for $44 billion and makes that dumb decision upon many, and that's just one of them. So yes, I did mention that the likes being private, and they don't even give us a choice to toggle that shit on or off.
Yeah, which I think would actually be a really good feature. If you care about that option, you should definitely want to be able to, or even hiding your own likes versus having them public too, maybe.
They should be public by default, and you can toggle it off if you so choose. I'm not sure why you would do that, but it is what it is now, and what it is crap. And so that's just one thing that I mentioned. But yes, to answer your question directly, the hearts, whatever we're calling it, it allowed networking to be done easier, and he got rid of that.
Okay. So I remember, I'm probably one of very few millennial women who don't really have social media. I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Snapchat. I have an old Facebook account that just basically has family and friends on it. But I do remember, do you ever remember in the days of Instagram? Again, I'm not on it, so I don't really know anymore, but people used to get in so much trouble for liking this person's post on Instagram and liking that person's post on Instagram. Like if someone even a comment, you know what I mean? It's almost like Elon Musk tried to get rid of that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Whether,
So when it comes to Elon Musk buying Twitter, I think he even said that he was going to pursue buying other social networks as well to merge them together. I don't think he ever did that, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Now there's speculations that Twitter is going to merge with Truth Social, and we'll see if that happens. I'm not sure.
That would be interesting.
Yes, it would.
I wouldn't like that, to be honest.
Well, we'll see. But yes, if I can just push you slightly, you mentioned that it was a disappointing move on my part for leaving. Can you just inform the audience why you thought that or think that? If you still do, just let us know.
I guess I've changed my mind a little bit just because, I in haste made that post out of frustration more so than listening to the rest of your stream. I guess as soon as the Nazi stuff came up, I was like, I don't really want to listen to an hour and a half of complaining about Nazis, which is in fairness, with what I thought was going to happen, but I was wrong. So that's why I did go back and re-listen to it after, all that happened.
There was 6 reasons.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
And I think on a tier of importance, this may not have been in the order they were mentioned, but in the tier of importance, Nazis would be like number 5, because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there's Nazis on YouTube as well. You're never going to get rid of them, ever. But there's a difference between having Nazis on your platform and actively promoting them.
Yeah, so I guess my frustration, you kind of, when I noticed your post about all of that, it was kind of coming off of the big wave of, Don Lemon and all those people kind of like, I'm getting off Twitter, I'm going over to Blue Sky. And I was just kind of over it. And then when you kind of said it, I just was really over it because I like to follow people that I actually do. Like, I enjoy watching your YouTube. I enjoy all that stuff. So it kind of felt like, yes, I knew when I said it, I can obviously still follow you on YouTube. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
But I enjoy your comments. Like, I enjoyed your posts. So it was kind of just like, oh, well, I really didn't want to go over to Blue Sky, but I did. I've been on Blue Skies, I don't know, for the last week and a half, maybe. I have no idea what your experience on Blue Sky is like. I know what mine is. Mine is, I guess I just choose to follow what I choose to follow. So mine is really just space and cat stuff and animals, and that's really it. So I can see the value in the 2 different platforms. I guess but I will not change my opinion on it being an echo chamber because it really is, and I'm not blaming that on the left or whatever you want to call. If conservatives or anybody, even libertarians or anybody, doesn't want to go over to Blue Sky, that's their fault, and then it will be an echo chamber if they don't choose to go over there.
Well, here's the order. I'll respond to the echo chamber thing, and I will. But first, I'm going to start here. Here's the reasons why I'm deciding to leave Twitter. Number 1 is the 2-tiered system. Mm-hmm. The number 2 is the screwed up block button where, it's great for stalkers. It's like, hey, you're in a stall taking a pee, but the stalls are made out of very clean, very transparent glass. I would be uncomfortable taking a shit there. Number 3, we have the like button issue, which we already talked about. Number 4, we have the algorithm, which also coincides with the Nazis, which I guess we'll add as number 5 just because the algorithm is actively promoting them for some reason. And number 6, the fact that it's now buggy as shit, and especially when you go to something like a Twitter space. Half of the people in a Twitter space cannot hear the other half of the individuals that are in the same space at the same time. And that's what happens when you fire 80% of your staff. Things start breaking, and there's no one there to fix it.
Twitter Spaces does suck.
So many times I've gone to a Twitter space, so many times I've tried to make a post that it just errors out on me. And it will even show on my end that there is a post made, only for it to disappear a few hours later, if not a few minutes later. So basically, you have your R&D department collecting cobwebs, not doing their job, because I honestly think Elon fired them all. Oh, I have Tesla engineers that can make a car somewhat kind of maybe not drive into a ravine. This should be relatively the same, only to find out that it's a totally different animal. So we have the buggy as shit thing being the final thing that I said. But another thing is that there is a lot of weird things going on in the background with the algorithm. I kind of would like to raise the algorithm up on my tier of complaints, because now they're actively punishing me for quote unquote modifying the experience. That's literally
Okay,
the email that I received. It said modifying the experience.
From who?
From Twitter themselves. They sent me an email saying that I was modifying the experience, and they wanted to make sure that I wasn't a bot or whatever. So I'm like, okay, fine, fair enough. I'll go ahead and log in, let them know that I'm not a robot, and all will be good, right? No, my numbers have never been the same ever, ever, ever again after that, because I believe what they're doing is that they're upset that I'm blocking every single blue tick account with a blue blocker plugin.
I was gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. So and I'm sorry, my opinion is go fuck yourself. Yes, I'm modifying the experience. I'm doing it to make it better, because the one thing that I've noticed, especially with blue tick accounts, is that the conversation gets very heavily weighted on one side, and the other side just doesn't have the character count to respond effectively.
It's an unfair way to have a conversation for sure.
They're essentially neutered in that way, and I really, really do not like that. But now to basically shadow ban me, that's kind of like, okay, well, you're not the only game in town anymore. Blue Sky, when I first joined, it had less than 1 million users. I believe when I joined, it was around 800,000. They recently exploded into, what, 23 million? And this was 23 million in only a few weeks.
Right.
This thing is an absolute tidal wave, and it's awesome. So even though they may have more people right now, that's just because they've been here for a while. I made my account in 2016. So they've been here for a long time. Blue Sky's just starting out, and they're already at 23 million users?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to assume the election pushed a lot of people there as well.
Probably. I can understand that, being that Elon Musk was kind of being a dick during the whole time. And and also
his posts were, like, his algorithm must flood it, because I mean, I do follow him on Twitter, but my whole timeline was constantly him. It was a little frustrating. I was like, I'm pretty sick of listening to every post.
He does want people to like him, and also apparently he will neuter your account if you block him, which is interesting. Like, dude, what a crybaby. But another thing is that going back to the echo chamber thing that you said, is that Blue Sky is an echo chamber. I said no for one reason, and the fact is no one is actually blocked from going over there. Yes, it is absolutely filled with a shit ton of progressives and not a lot of conservatives. That is absolutely true.
That's a fault on our end. That's not a fault on you, on liberals and progressives.
And so when people say it's an echo chamber, it's just because of the population that's over there right now. But the reason why I don't call it an echo chamber is because no one is preventing you from going over there and joining. In fact, the first thing I said was, okay, make a Blue Sky and make it less of an echo chamber.
I did.
And I appreciate that.
I will say, I have no interest in discussing or commenting or posting anything political on that, because I feel like it would just be a train wreck.
Politics normally is. And so, and so it doesn't matter if you are a progressive or a conservative, whether you voted for Kamala or Donald Trump. You can make an account over there and post away. Now, a lot of people are going to say, but, Andrew Tate, after posting some objectively misogynist shit, he got banned within 5 minutes. And I go, yeah, isn't it great to have moderation? And this
then this is where we're going to have probably some disagreement, because I know accounts like Libs of TikTok and other, big right-wing conservative accounts, whether I agree with all of their opinions or not is irrelevant. They've all gotten their accounts banned, and I think that what frustrated me when that started happening is the amount of accounts that I could go on there and find legitimately, what were they called? Like map accounts and those get to somehow get free reign. If we want to talk about moderation, I'd prefer not to have actual MAP promoters on an app that I'm looking at.
Well, here's the thing about free speech is that there is going to be moderation no matter on what platform you go. It's just what ways do they moderate? So, for example, we mentioned previously, and I believe this was a big sticking point with you, is freedom of speech, and Elon Musk being the free speech absolutist that he is, and how he was.
I would like to circle back and just say that I don't agree with what I said in that statement as much as I do now. I mean, I don't agree with what I said now as much.
All right. Well, if you want to revise, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead.
Just some stuff that I've been seeing lately. I know Nancy Mace was, she had one of her Twitter posts shadow banned or blocked or whatever you want to call it on something she was talking about while the whole gender thing's going down at the Supreme Court. I guess something that she posted was blocked and limited. So stuff like that, I won't support. So to me, and I'm only saying that because when I did make that post, I didn't. Like, you have to understand, I guess our two experiences on the app are probably going to be very different. I didn't personally see a lot of banning or I didn't really see any of that, and maybe that's my own ignorance, but I didn't have any. That wasn't coming to my attention. I am seeing a lot more of it now, so that's why I definitely wouldn't stand by. There's definitely censorship going on.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to really hammer down is that Twitter is not, regardless what Elon Musk says, Twitter is not a free speech platform. What it is, it's a paid, elevated speech platform. That's essentially what he made it, and it wasn't like that when he initially purchased Twitter. And also, before he implemented the two-tiered system, or even during the implementation of the two-tiered system, he blocked and shadow banned a lot of people for just doing journalism. So, for example, we have Matt Binder from Mashable, Drew Harwell from the Washington Post, Stephen Herman from Voice of America, Mika Lee from The Intercept, Ryan Mack, The New York Times, Donnie O'Sullivan, CNN, Lynette Lopez from Business Insider, Keith Olbermann from Countdown with Keith Olbermann, Aaron Ruper, who is a freelancer, and Tony Webster. You can probably guess who he's from. All of these individuals were nuked off of Twitter until there was a massive backlash for doing so. And then Elon Musk changed his mind by saying, okay, well, actually, I'm gonna reinstate them, but I'm gonna kick them off for a week. And
so
it was like,
their accounts were gone?
Their accounts were gone.
Wow.
Gone. And I saved a lot of their handles here. So if you go like Ryan Mack, the New York Times, or Stephen Herman, Voice of America, and Donnie O'Sullivan from CNN, all these individuals apparently got kicked off for a week. And that's not very free speech. Why would you punish someone, even if it was temporary? Well, he didn't permanently ban them off the platform. Even so, why would you ban them for a week from what you called the internet town square if you're so free speech? Not only that, but if you type in the word cisgender on Twitter, your shit's gonna get fucking flagged for hate speech.
You know what? I actually wrote that in my notes about that because I didn't understand what you meant by that. Because right after I heard that, I remember being like, what is he talking about? And I went to, like, are you talking about on the search function?
No, just typing a tweet. If you type out
typing a tweet.
Yeah, if you type the tweet and you say the word cis or cisgender in it, the exposure of that tweet will get neutered.
But why do you think that is?
Well, because Elon Musk said that particular word counts as hate speech and won't be tolerated, even though it's not a term that is synonymous with hate speech. He just doesn't like the term. And the reason why he doesn't like the term and the reason why he was doing it that way is because that word is often used when you are currently engaged in a debate about the transgender conversation. So,
but if I type it in search on Twitter, I can find tons of posts about it.
Yeah, you can. I'm not saying that it's overarching. What I say is that the post gets neutered. It doesn't get completely hidden or banned or whatever. If you're actively searching for it, you will find it. But a lot of people have posted screenshots on Blue Sky, and if necessary, I can send you one of them in DMs, where they post the word cis or cisgender, and the tweet gets a warning or a notification saying, you're going to have limited, this tweet's going to have limited viewability.
Sorry, I think I was misunderstanding what you mean. So yeah, because Elon Musk determines that the word cisgender could be considered hate speech, he doesn't allow it to be promoted.
Correct.
Okay.
But
sorry, I was a little bit.
But but basically what he's doing is that this is the two-tiered system that he has operated on. And what I think he's doing, now this is just speculation on my part, but I'm utilizing my own experience here. I believe what he's doing is that he is supercharging, absolutely supercharging blue tick accounts and making Twitter so unpleasant to use for people who do not give him money.
Yeah,
they're not going to get any traffic because of that reason. It's like, okay, so not only is this site glitchy. Let me start from the top here. Let's say hypothetically that the site was glitchy, it was buggy, it didn't work, but my posts were still getting the views, they were still getting seen by all of my over 5,000 followers on that platform. There would be almost no problem. I could tolerate it. Now, a lot of people would be like, yo, I haven't seen your post in, a few months, and I go to your Twitter account just to see what's up, or if you posted anything, and you posted all this stuff that I missed. One person that noticed that was Astronomy Live, of all people. So, Astronomy Live, who is, of course, a good friend, he's like, yeah, I haven't been getting any of your stuff. And here's the thing, I haven't been getting any of his stuff either. And the one thing we have in common is that neither of us are blue ticked. But I was getting M2M stuff because he was blue ticked. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, I would have an exception to blue blocker, which is if you were following me or if I was following you, then blue blocker wouldn't block you, even if you had a blue tick. But ever since getting rid of that rule, I'm starting to see more tweets that I just would not see otherwise, because Elon Musk has prioritized blue ticks so much that it has essentially made it really useless for anyone who doesn't give him money. So what good is free speech if no one's going to be seeing your shit because he's constantly giving you a megaphone with dead batteries in it? That's essentially what we have here. So it not only is the moderation pretty fucking weak, to be completely honest with you, not only is he moderating the wrong thing, but he's also really diving into this give me $8 bullshit.
Yeah. So what I'm about to tell you not only goes into the bugging of the app, but it's probably going to annoy you even more. When I first decided to get a blue check, it was mainly out of curiosity. It wasn't a crazy amount of money. I was like, okay, I pay for all kinds of crap, so why not try it? I think I've paid for the first 2 months, and I haven't, it's not come out of my account. I haven't paid for it in probably 7 months now, and I still have a blue check.
Well,
and I have no idea why. I've even changed my profile picture and my username on there. So I thought it would, how, I don't know, it kind of does that like 3-day cycle where they have to re-verify your account. I thought after it did that, it would kick me off of that, but it still hasn't. I don't know why. So not only was I not paying it, but even when I made that original post to you, so not only were you limited by the character count to even reply to me, I had an even more unfair advantage because I wasn't even paying for it. I don't know. I have no explanation as to why I still have a blue check.
Well, that's what happens when you get rid of your staff. 80% of which you don't have the manpower necessary to actually run the company efficiently.
Well, I bet that a lot of their staff wasn't needed, but 80% seems a bit steep.
A bit extreme, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So when it comes down to it, and going and switching gears over to Blue Sky right now, people can be not thrilled about the moderation there. Well, this is where people can do the weird and shocking thing of having both if you so desire. So if you don't like what's going on Blue Sky, if you don't like the fact that they have rules that, in my opinion, actually make a fair bit of sense, then you don't have to stay there or go there or whatever. But at the same time, don't be complaining that it's an echo chamber if you refuse to go there and post, objections to whatever ideas you're seeing on there. So right now, what's happening is that there are two camps being formed, and neither one wants to acknowledge the obvious. Is that, yes, Blue Sky is an echo chamber in terms of the population, but it's not an echo chamber in terms of the algorithm, because you make the algorithm on Blue Sky. Blue Sky has no control over that, which I fucking love. And number two, Twitter does have an algorithm that they control, and it is basically programmed to push conservative ideas, conservative content towards your feed. I don't follow end wokeness. Why the fuck am I getting this shit on my timeline? I don't follow JD Vance. Why am I getting this shit on my timeline?
Okay, so you know what's really funny about that? I find this fascinating, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so I understand that that's what's coming up on your algorithm, but and this happens to me all the time. Anytime I go to like my homepage and I just see whatever's on the not the following, like the For You page, so where all the trash is, right? I'm constantly getting people that I don't follow that are all progressives on the left, like stuff that I don't personally follow. Like that Brooklyn Dad guy, that JoJo from Jer's girl. I've had to block all of them because I'm sick of them popping up on my thing. I don't follow them. So I find it interesting that I don't see even a lot of people that I follow on the right or more conservatives popping up on my For You page. I have to actively go to my following to look at accounts that I follow.
And well, this only reinforces my point, because what if we had a platform where you could tailor the algorithm to your wants, needs, and desires? So
Blue Sky is very good at that, and I will absolutely admit that. I gotta say, ever since I've been on there and I just follow what I want, it has never changed my algorithm. It only pops up what I would like to see, and it doesn't give me anything else.
See, for me, the only thing I've seen on this platform is astronomy stuff, stuff from, like, there's a guy called Astro Backyard, and he was one of the first people that I followed from the astronomy side of things, and my algorithm was immediately filled with awesome like telescopes
Right.
and
I
pictures of the night
agree.
sky, and that's the kind of stuff I want to see. But it's like I try really really fucking hard to get Twitter to understand what I want to see and what I don't want to see, and it's not fucking listening. But that's because Elon Musk literally made an account called America and made it push conservative content so that it would only post conservative content. I'm like, okay, listen, I understand that you may not want to hear this, Elon Musk, but I'm gonna tell you this: not everybody is a conservative, and it's kind of on the nose to make an account called America as if America is of a conservative leaning.
No, it's definitely not.
Not and here's also another thing: is that that type of shit clearly shows how he, the owner of the platform, is motivated, for lack of a better term, motivated to steer the content towards people of a more left-leaning bias. So when I go onto my timeline, I'm seeing a lot of shit that I really do not want to see. And I believe that the reason why I'm seeing all this shit, and whether and here's the thing, I'm just gonna say this: not conservatives aren't Nazis. Let's drop the shit, please. All right, conservatives are not Nazis, but I'm seeing a lot of Nazis coming up mixed in with all the conservative content that's being pushed around the timeline.
That's actually something I did want to ask you, because you did talk about that a lot, and I just have to know what you mean. Like, I obviously, like, what, when you're on you're scrolling, what is an example that you can just pick out of your brain that you would say, that's a Nazi post, those are Nazis?
Have you ever
I don't.
noticed that almost all the flat earthers are born in 1988? So, for example, Brian Sweet.
Okay.
Brian Sweet
I know
is.
who that is.
You know who that is?
No, I know who you're talking about. I
Okay.
believe so.
And then also that guy M88, I believe his account is. Have you noticed how all these people are made in 1988? And then you had God,
Like their birthdays are in 1988?
yeah, their birthdays are in 1988.
Okay.
And have you also? There's also this Keith guy. He's on Sacred's or he was on Sacred's channel, and he got called out not for the Nazi shit, but for other stuff. But he was there as well, another flat earther. But yeah, all of them are born in 1988. Isn't that a coincidence?
No, I'm not getting it.
You don't know the 88?
No, what's that mean?
88 is the okay. I'm going to explain the dog whistle now. So this account's going to be demonetized because I'm going to say a thing.
Oh no!
And
you don't have to. You don't have to explain it.
Okay, so
should I Google it?
No. Don't worry about it. Okay, 8 is the 8th letter in the alphabet. H. 88 means HH. HH means Heil Hitler.
Okay.
There you go. Now it clicks. So, and then
okay.
I'm
just reading about that. So it's a white thing.
Yes, it's a dog whistle. That's what it is. It's a dog whistle. And
you know what? You learn something new every day because I did not know that.
Yep, and then there's also a lot of people were born in 2014, which I found very, very interesting.
Okay.
14 as well?
Yeah, I got the 14. You don't have to explain it.
Okay, the 14 is the other dog whistle. So
yeah,
there's a lot of 14s, a lot of 88s, and Brian Sweet has been reported and banned and blocked and everything like that, and they were very good with that shit, keeping him off the platform whenever he would start going into Holocaust denial. But as of late, that seemed to have dropped off a metric fuck ton, because the dude is breaking two separate rules. The first one, obviously, the Nazi shit, we already went over. But the other rule that he's blocking, which is something that they're not even bothering with right now, is ban evasion. So if you are banned off of Twitter, at one point in time when they actually had some staff working there, they would actually be relatively quick to get on top of that shit and get your sorry ass off the platform when you were posting some fucking nonsense and you were ban evading and stuff like that. Well, now they just let him do it. And basically, because of the way Elon has been acting and the way that the platform has been evolving, flat earthers are more comfortable going full mask off. And that's a bad thing for two different reasons. The first reason that it's bad is because it shows exactly which direction they're going when it comes to moderating that type of shit, which is awful. But another reason why it's bad, which is purely selfish, I'm going to be completely honest here, is that they know they can just say that shit without any consequences and completely derail the conversation. So if I go there and I'm telling them that their claims about flat Earth are completely wrong, they can be like, "Yeah, well, you believe that 6 million Jews were gassed." And I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
That really, really pisses me off. It's mainly one of the reasons that I absolutely despise Witsit.
He's a Nazi.
Stand that. I can't stand that shit. That actually drives me to the edge of my sanity. My family is German, so I take it kind of personal.
The dude is a straight up Nazi. Witsit's a straight up Nazi.
Yeah, it's and I do notice, and I hate it. As someone who, like, my family and stuff, we're more conservatives. I don't consider myself a conservative anymore. I consider myself politically homeless. I don't know where I am. I'm kind of just lost.
It honestly doesn't matter. And let's go ahead and just give you this on a silver platter. Let's say Blue Sky is more tailored to the people with blue hair rather than red hats. Let's say that that's actually the case. I would say I would much rather have that, even though it can be absolutely fucking annoying at times. Yeah. No, I don't want to talk about how there's 96 different genders. Please leave me the fuck alone. You know, I I I
Hey, we
I,
can agree on that.
I do not want to have this fucking conversation right now.
Me neither.
So yes, it can be very annoying, but I would rather listen to that than be on a platform where people are emboldened to literally engage in Holocaust denial and go full mask off with that. I think it devalues the conversation that we could be having, the conversation that we want to be having with flat earthers, which is literally the geometry of our planet. But they know they can derail the conversation. Some of them have done this in the past, and they know that they can go full mask off and, essentially make the whole debate a cataclysmic shit show. It's not fun anymore. That's the problem, is that it's just not fun. On Blue Sky, at least you have the option of making it somewhat fun. And if these motherfuckers decide to post 88 related garbage, we know that Blue Sky's going to have a moderation team that actually is worth a shit, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, you think you can get away with that shit over here? Fuck off. And of course, they'll make another account. They will come back and ban evade, but at least next time they'll be like, okay, I got to actually watch myself here because moderation here actually works worth a shit, and I want to own these globies and so on and so forth. It's kind of like, okay, thank you, Snow. You just gave me a perfect example. Twitter is like the McRib. All right, you're in it, and it's like, wow, this is really good. And then later on, halfway through the sandwich, you're like, this is ethically wrong. We shouldn't be doing this. So what I'm saying here in a very long-winded way is that no platform's going to be perfect. Every platform's going to have rules that you probably do not like. And yes, Blue Sky probably kind of sort of is going to be more tailored, at least currently, for the blue-haired people rather than the red hat people. But I would think that would be a better compromise to make, since everyone's on the same level, no pun intended. No one has any advantage over somebody with the characters that they have. If I have to condense my thoughts, so the fuck do you. So let's have a conversation. And that's even better for another reason. If people are forced to condense their thoughts, people might get frustrated with that. Now, why is that a good thing? Because what it does is it does what we're doing right now. We got frustrated with the limited character count. I didn't feel like typing 75 different tweets to explain my position, so we're having a chat right now, and people are enjoying the content. It actually promotes conversation and shows and getting off of the platform. This is off of Blue Sky right now, even though Twitter and Blue Sky is where this shit started.
Yep. I don't disagree. You know what is funny is that even when I started, I stumbled onto the flat Earth stuff. I didn't. It's only been recently that I noticed, and this is just because I'll be honest, I haven't been following this stuff for years, like the rest of you guys have been, but I have noticed that flat earthers are typically, Nazis, and they're typically on the right.
Yeah, typically.
And it pisses me off. And sometimes I just want to sit there and strangle these people because they say the most unhinged, wild, absolute trash garbage. And I know that people like that, like I was going to say, I try to look for flat earthers on Blue Sky. Have you noticed any of them on there?
Oh yeah, they're there. They're there.
Oh, they are? Okay.
They've already started populating, and the best part about it is that it's the lesser known flat earthers, so that means I get to make new friends.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you don't think any of the bigger flat Earth accounts are going to go out over there?
At least not yet. At least not yet. And I fully accept that Blue Sky is still growing. I'm impressed with the explosion of their platform, and it's just going to keep getting more and more and more populated.
So I have a question.
There are flat earthers on Blue Sky right now already spewing garbage. And I do have plans to start engaging with those accounts. For example, one of the accounts that's on there right now is Flat Earth Dave. Flat Earth Dave is actually on Blue Sky, ladies and gentlemen. The guy who made the app that doesn't fucking work is on Blue Sky. Tell him I said hi, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yep, Flat Earth Dave is on Blue Sky. Go figure. I was like, You cheeky son of a bitch. Look at you already
That's
making
good
the
though. I
jump.
don't have a problem with that because I would like to see, if anything, if there's any change I could make to Blue Sky, I'd like to see more flat Earth drama for sure.
There's going to be flat earth drama, and it's going to be starting up relatively soon. What I'm trying to do, and one thing, and this is the damn shame with Twitter, and this is why I actually don't want to leave. It's because I've been there since 2016. I have so many tweets that I can reference because I've literally made all these arguments before. So, for example, there was a guy that started questioning my Tampa Bay blink test, and he made some objections. I can literally link to a tweet I made back in 2022 that already addresses and debunks whatever assertion that he made. That's awesome, having that arsenal, that library that I can simply go to and reference. With Blue Sky, I'm starting from scratch. So I need to start building up a little bit of a portfolio of stuff. So I'm going to post some things. And then once I have that built up to some extent, that's when I'm going to start to engage, because I want to make sure I have stuff in the chamber ready to rock and roll whenever flat earthers start spewing demonstrable bullshit in my direction. Again, I've been on Twitter since 2016. I don't want to leave it, but Elon Musk has essentially made this thing like a Cybertruck, and I don't like how it is anymore. You have the weird ass algorithm, you have the two-tiered fucked up system. That's probably the most egregious thing that he did. The fucked up block button, the fucked up like button. I should be able to toggle that shit on and off if I want. And I'm like,
Right, I completely agree with that. That's such a small change too that would probably improve a lot of people's experience on the platform.
and I do not care.
I would use that for sure.
And I also don't yes, a lot of people left Twitter in a huff and a puff because, one, they just fucking hated Elon because he spent, I forget, I think it was like $100 million getting Trump elected to president-elect. I forget the exact amount. They just hate him, so they're like, okay, fuck this guy. I'm going to sell my Tesla and get rid of Twitter. Yeah, that was definitely part of it. I am not denying that whatsoever. But that's not my reasons for leaving. My reasons for leaving are apolitical, okay? And people are going to be like, but hey, don't you think Trump's a piece of shit? Yeah, absolutely. I do. I actually do think that Trump is a piece of shit, but I thought Trump was a piece of shit back in 2000 when he beat Hillary Clinton, and I was still on Twitter because Twitter wasn't acting the way Twitter is acting right now. And also, I understand this is not really the point here, but calling it X, that's a lot of people were like,
I don't care what it's called.
the ultimate hypocrisy, by the way. I was like, a bunch of conservatives, like for example, End Wokeness, I think made this tweet because it was on the news, that the butterfly is apparently a symbol for child predators.
Yes, I did see that.
But I would like to say X is literally the letter you use to signify porn. So
yeah.
So look at your own
Touché.
logo as well, motherfuckers. And also on top of that, does that mean Microsoft was also for child predators as well? Because Microsoft had the butterfly.
Well, again,
remember
I don't,
Microsoft, how they had the butterfly?
Yeah.
What about what was
people are gonna find stupid crap meaning in everything, and it's not really gonna push forward their argument if they're gonna say stupid things like that. I did hear about that, but again, it didn't help when you could see multiple of those map accounts. Like I believe the moderation team should be getting that crap off of there.
Or like MSN. MSN has the butterfly logo.
Oh yeah, MSN had the butterfly logo.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is that argument is weak. And as far as
it's very weak.
And as far as maps is concerned, and I will share this with you later, and I'm going to slightly kind of maybe traumatize you a little bit.
That might be very difficult to do.
well, good. Challenge accepted. So,
all right.
There was a conversation I had on this YouTube channel. This may have been way before you started truly following me, but we had a conversation on this YouTube channel, and it was about Twitter. I believe this was after Elon purchased the social media platform. he purchased Twitter, and we were going on a bit of a rampage against all the map accounts that we saw on Twitter.
Okay.
And there was a conversation going on that there was a video that was shared, and I'm not going to go into details, but after the perpetrator was done, a diaper had to be changed.
That's great. Thank you for that.
Yes, you're welcome for the trauma. That was the kind of content that was on Twitter at the time. And I will share with you that live stream where we spoke about it. Obviously, we didn't show anything. We're not fucking monsters. But we spoke about it. This is the kind of content that was there. And unfortunately, there are sickos and fucking predators and all that nasty shit on every social media platform because, believe it or not, humans kind of suck. We're just awful. We're terrible. It's like, how low can you go?
We are awful as a species.
We are absolutely terrible people. And so when it comes to being awful and having a platform that hosts people, you're going to have bad apples everywhere. The one thing that we can do, and this is the one thing that I would encourage others to do, is that if you are going to make a Blue Sky account, be vigilant for that shit. Or if you're going to stay on Twitter, be vigilant for that shit. And if you see something, report that shit, block them outright. Don't promote it. Don't try to have it get, any traffic or signal boosted or whatever the case may be. Report that shit and do whatever you can to get that account, the account banned. So that's what we all should be doing. And yes, there's going to be bad apples everywhere. So I don't see that as a legitimate argument, because that argument is just as true for Twitter as it is for Threads, as it is for Facebook, as it is for any other website on the internet.
I think the frustration that I saw about people talking about that was, again, like people like libs of TikTok that just share, kind of other posts, gets their account kicked off of Blue Sky, but those accounts that get reported seem to stay up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I know it's all over every platform. I know it's on Twitter. I know it's on everything. But I believe that Blue Sky is definitely having, it's definitely aiming towards getting conservative platforms kicked off, right-wing platforms, which is a little bit frustrating because if we want to make it less of an echo chamber with some more moderation, you should be able to let those accounts online.
I agree that we should allow those accounts online, but the reason why I'm seeing all of these accounts getting banned is because they're literally just trying to, honestly, they're posting rage bait. They're posting rage bait. It's like their goal in order to make their point, they essentially engage in a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't seen the posts that get them kicked off, so I could easily sit here and believe that those accounts are going on there posting something absolutely blasphemous.
Because just
because they want to screenshot it, bring it back to Twitter, and be like, "Look, I got kicked off." I'm not saying that that's not happening. That probably is happening.
Because as well as I do that libs of TikTok is known for doing shit like that. That's kind of her thing. Libs of TikTok, her entire philosophy, her entire reason for existing on this planet is to own the libs.
Well, I believe the account started off as
she gets up every morning. She gets up every morning, and while she's taking her morning dump, she's thinking to herself, "How can I own the libs today?" Mm-hmm. That's libs of TikTok. Her entire existence is owning the libs. The same is true for Matt Walsh. The same is true for Tim Pool. The same.
This is my point that it's all of them, right? I can say the same thing about everybody on the other side.
There is a lot of rage bait everywhere you go, absolutely. And like I said, as of right now, Blue Sky is more left-leaning, as Twitter was before Elon bought it. I mean, if we remember correctly, it was relatively kind of sort of not like this before Elon bought it. And then Elon purchased it and then got pissed off at I forget what happened. He got pissed off at Gavin Newsom because he was not getting a particular credit for his EVs or whatever, and then decided to go conservative, which is the party that says if you drive an EV, you're a little bitch soy boy.
I'll never be caught dead in an electric car. That's just my opinion.
It's like, I own an EV company and I'm gonna go conservative, but everyone's gonna say that if you drive my vehicles, you're a little soy boy. Okay, cool. Way to shoot yourself in the foot there, Elon. You know what would have helped you out there is if you put a big honking Cummins diesel in your Cybertruck, then you could be part of the cool kids club.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
So, moving on, I did
want to say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
So, did you ever watch the Joe Rogan Experience episode with Tim Pool and what were their Jack Dorsey and Vijaya Gaddy?
No, I don't watch Joe Rogan.
Okay, this was like, I don't know, probably 5 years ago, but I remember Tim Pool was sitting down on Joe Rogan's podcast talking to Jack Dorsey is the one that owned Twitter before, right?
He was the founder. I don't know if he was.
Well, either way, the podcast was all about the girl that was on there. I believe was the one who was running Twitter, and they were just calling out the amount of hypocrisy that was going on that. Again, I don't have experience with this. I wasn't on the app at that point, but it's an interesting podcast. I watched it only to kind of get an idea of what was going on Twitter before I was on there. And yeah, he just calls out a lot of stuff in terms. I remember she was talking about accounts that she banned, but it was always like going towards one way, and that's kind of what Tim Pool, whether you like him or not, he was kind of just on there. To be honest, even when Tim Pool was on here, I believe he was still like, he didn't even like Trump or anything. I don't know what he used to be. Libertarian. I don't really care.
That seems rather hard to believe with Tim Pool, but if I remember correctly,
well, if you watched Tim Pool back in the day, he was not nowhere near.
Yeah, but he was still a cataclysmic dumbass. But with Tim Pool, I believe the issue was this, and I'm going off of memory. No, I didn't watch the episode. I saw snippets or clips of it. I can't remember if it was a YouTube short or maybe even on Twitter itself. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe the issue, and I could be totally wrong here, was that a lot of people were going to accounts of transgender individuals and not respecting the gender that they wish to be called. Mm-hmm. And so they would go onto their account, and instead of, like, if a person was born male and they transitioned to female, they would still refer to them as a he or a him, and that was against the rules of Twitter before Elon Musk took over.
Yes, and I think Tim Pool was arguing that that's an ideology, and that's not, like, basically they were choosing what was hate speech at that point. Because if you don't agree to that ideology of transitioning, I guess he was arguing that you shouldn't be punished for not using the pronouns they're asking you to do, because you're essentially asking someone to engage in a ideology that they don't agree with.
Yeah, but there's also another thing going on there, which is that apparently the issue was that you had accounts that would actively seek out this person
to do it, which is not right.
If you have this strongly held opinion that being transgender means that something is wrong with you or whatever, why would you actively seek out these individuals in order to berate them? If you believe
it's not nice.
If you believe that they're going through trouble and that they have mental issues or whatever your opinion is, I don't think Tim Pool has a fucking leg to stand on, because I know him and his actively go after those people, seeking them out just to harass them and get underneath their skin. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I see a lot of people do is that, I think for Tim Pool, Libs of TikTok, and wokeness and stuff like that, that was one of the big campaigns against Bud Light.
Yes.
Not because not because she did anything wrong or anything like that. And yes, I will refer to the spokesperson as a she. But not that she did anything wrong. It's like, oh, look, this is some beer. Pay no attention that this is America's favorite goat piss.
I don't even think Dylan was
try
promote
Bud
it.
Light.
I believe Dylan was just sent an individual beer can with Dylan's picture on it.
Exactly, and it wasn't even something that was going to
be
sold.
It wasn't a paid ad or anything. Yeah,
it wasn't even something that was going to be sold to the general public.
No, it was
6 cans that she decided to keep as a souvenir, and it's like, okay,
it was all over one TikTok.
So this was one shitty TikTok campaign with someone who I could not give a fuck about. You would might as well get Taylor Swift on there, because I do not give a flying fuck about Taylor Swift as well. And everyone just lost their fucking minds. Like you thought that, by her...
I didn't care. I didn't like Bud Light before, so.
But by her drinking some shitty beer, it's like people got out and shot their dog, and then you have Kid Rock going apeshit by machine gunning an entire, gazillion pack of beer. Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And
the funniest part is that he had to actually go out and buy that beer.
Yeah, which was, it's like, well, way to show them. You bought beer that you can't even drink. But to be fair, you shouldn't hate Bud Light because they hired someone who's transgender to promote their garbage. You should hate Bud Light because it tastes...
It's a shitty beer.
Oh, it is awful. It tastes like the drizzle after a raccoon ejaculated in an old wet log.
Oh my god.
That's what it tastes like. And someone's probably gonna ask me, so Rez, how do you know what that tastes like, huh? When I was younger, I did some films. That
was actually about to be my next question.
When I was younger, I did some films that I'm not exactly proud of. But we're moving on anyway. So
I need details now. What are these films?
You'll have to subscribe to my OnlyFans. But with all that being said, a lot of people went on the fucking warpath, and this has been the case for a while now.
Look at Jaguar.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
The new car looks like what happens when you had a Cybertruck had sex with a DeVille and a bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
I hate everything about it, and I work for a really big high-end car company, and we all had a really good laugh at that at work.
Good. It should be laughed at. Anyway, but this has been a running theme with conservatives because the idea that Bud Light can just have this do this thing and people just forget it, because it was quite frankly a very forgetful commercial, and it was only on TikTok, and quite frankly, if you're on TikTok, fuck you anyway. No one cares. No one fucking cares, and no one cares now. But it was such a big blow up over there. And so what you had was a bunch of hate being focused in one particular direction. Do I like the fact that this rule was there? No. If you don't agree with the quote unquote ideology or with their personal identity or whatever, you do you at that point. But it got so bad at a particular point in time, I can understand why they implemented that rule. And I would rather have that rule be there than not be there at that particular point in time, because... well, quite frankly, fuck you guys at this point. Like, you guys are getting upset because a beer that no one fucking likes promoted someone who you've never heard of before, and the only detail that you fixed onto was the fact that this person was trans. And then it's like...
well, in fairness, I think that's kind of where the argument goes. A lot of people that don't believe that Dylan is trans.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and you're free to think that. I personally have no problem with it. You want to call Dylan a he? I don't really care. Guest. I'm not.
I don't care if Dylan is or isn't. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. But what they found was that there was a lot of toxicity around that on Twitter, because Twitter was the place to go when you wanted to have a toxic waste dump. So they had to control it in some way, shape, or form. So even though I don't like it, I understand it. But also, on the other side, Gillette was also called out on Twitter, and rightfully so, both by the right and the left, because apparently Gillette, Real in the live chat reminded me of this. Thank you very much, Real. Gillette thought that men shouldn't still enjoy...
What was the Gillette thing?
The Gillette was basically saying that men should stop being creeps, as if it's wrong for us to enjoy nice ripe asses. And I'm sorry, but I'm straight and I like boobs. Get the fuck over yourself. Like, I don't know what Gillette wants from me. Gillette was essentially shaming men.
I vaguely remember this. So it was a commercial.
It was a commercial.
Yeah, wasn't it like
where,
toxic masculinity kind of?
Yeah, the toxic masculinity thing. But basically, what it was like a commercial that was arguing against catcalls. And listen, catcalls shouldn't be discouraged. Bad catcalls should be discouraged. Like, hey baby, I heard you're looking for a stud. I got the STD. All I need is you.
You know, I've dealt with catcalling my whole life. I don't have a problem with it for the most part.
It's like
oh man,
it's like bad catcalling is the thing that should be called out. But Gillette didn't do that. Gillette didn't say the
most
obvious.
Most of the time, I
hey,
just laugh and smile.
Yeah, you know, do
my day.
If you're going to approach a lady, at least make them not want to reach for pepper spray. That's the kind of shit that you should be promoting. But,
exactly.
But Gillette kind of went.
Do not make me nervous.
Gillette kind of went full anti-toxic masculinity bullshit, where it's like, hey, listen, we're not going to say boys should be boys because, you know, the boys of the day will be the men of tomorrow, and men need to essentially be fucking pansies. No, we're still going to say, you know, we like boobs, we like asses, and you're going to get the fuck over it. I'm a dude.
I'm
not changing
fair.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Gillette would do something like that. Your entire core audience and everybody that you mean to sell to is all men. Actually, that's not true. I'm a woman and I always buy men's razors because they're better quality. I don't understand why. I can't explain it, but they're always better.
And the thing is that we don't discriminate. At least I don't discriminate on this YouTube channel. But you look at these two extremes. So let's look at the toxic masculinity thing, which everyone got on board with, which I believe was them saying that all men are creeps, all men are assholes, and we shouldn't, you know, see women as beautiful or sexy or whatever. And they were saying stupid shit like that. The backlash they got was relatively mild compared to the shit that Bud Light got. And Bud Light didn't say anything objectionable. They didn't say anything that was, you know, like, oh, you should kill all Mexicans. They didn't say shit like that. All they did was have someone who no one fucking cares about say, wow, this Bud Light, it's so delicious. Oh my God, fucking awful.
And you know they faked even enjoying
Bud Light. It's like
beer.
Bud Light Lime. Do you want a beverage that tastes like water went bad? Bud Light Lime. Again, that's the reason you should hate Bud Light.
Honestly.
Not because they hired someone who was transgender. But the backlash was so egregious and completely unnecessary, in my opinion, that yes, I don't like it. In fact, I despise it, but I understand why Twitter did what they did. And if I was in charge, I'd probably do the same thing. Again, I wouldn't like it, but I would be like, okay, all you guys are kind of fucking nuts right now. We all need to calm our tits. Let's put some ice cubes on the nips for a bit, and then we'll back off the moderation. But until we get to that point, holy fuck, guys, you guys are just insane right now. We got Kid Rock machine gunning, cans right now. We don't need Kid Rock with a gun, please. Especially one that's full auto.
Yeah, oh God.
Let's not do that. So we kind of got off track here, but let me just finalize by saying you're not going to be happy with Blue Sky. You're not going to be happy with Twitter. You're not going to be happy with everything. Basically, it's a question of which platform sucks the least. And as of right
I enjoy
now,
both of them. But I understand why you don't like it. But I have a question. So if Blue Sky ever introduced some sort of premium way to have your account, what would you think about that?
Oh, I have no problem with premium accounts and that kind of stuff. However, there's a smart way of doing it and there's a not smart way of doing it. If Blue Sky went the Twitter route, I would dump Blue Sky in a heartbeat.
Is there a character limit on Blue Sky posts?
There is.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yes, and it's like that for everybody. So here's
Well, I mean, yes, obviously there's a character limit. I don't know how big it is.
everyone has the same character limit. On Blue Sky, it's 300 characters.
Okay,
So
300.
so let me give you an example of what I mean, just so that I'm perfectly clear. It costs money to host content like pictures or videos, for example. A premium account, you could get higher quality images uploaded or higher quality videos uploaded. So if you have a normal account, let's say your videos are limited to 360p resolution. But if you pay for the premium account, we'll let you go all the way up to 4K. That's something worth paying for. Even though, the other person can post the same video, yours is going to look better. But at the end of the day, the conversation can still progress because you both are, in the end, posting the same video. One's just more visually appealing than the other. Another thing that can be done is the size of images. Is that you can have a particular size of picture, like let's say 480 by 480, like that's your resolution limit for non-paid accounts. But if you pay for us, we'll let you go to full, screensaver quality or whatever. Those are perks that I can get behind. Another perk that I can get behind, which I don't know why Twitter doesn't do this, is that you can organize your own chat rooms, for example. So you can have particular chat rooms, but chat rooms would be something for a convenience feature, because it's not going to stop people from saying what they have to say, because they can just make a regular post besides that. But in particular chat rooms, which you pay to have that community, you can now have everyone in your particular chat room rather than on Blue Sky as a whole. That would be a cool feature that doesn't limit anyone in what they can say or where they can say it, but it just makes the site better to use. Essentially making your own Discord without it being shitty like Discord. You can do so many things, but instead the path that Elon took was, I'm going to give one person 20,000 characters to work with, while this other douchebag only has 250 or 300 or 350 or whatever the fuck it is this week. And that's not right. I get into conversations with people with blue ticks, of course flat earthers with blue ticks, all flat earthers apparently have blue ticks nowadays, and they will type...
I have noticed that.
They will type a torrent of words, all of it's bullshit, and I am forced to deal with Brandolini's law, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it because I just do not have the character limits to effectively respond to these assholes. Unless I jump through hoops, type it out on a Word doc, screenshot the Word doc, post that. Fuck that shit. If I have to condense my thoughts, so do you. Or, if you want to give the person 20,000 characters, that is fine. But then give everybody 20,000 characters. There's other perks you can offer for the blue tick.
Outside of, yeah. I agree. I think, yeah, he could definitely... I almost just said Tim Pool. Elon Musk could definitely do that. I have a feeling as Blue Sky gets a little bit bigger, they will be introducing stuff like that, which would be actually really cool, what you said. I even uploaded a video of my cat, and it, completely destroyed the quality. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, so if you, let's say that quality was norm, but for a fee of however many dollars per month, I can guarantee that when you upload it from your account, it's going to be 4K resolution, beautiful IMAX quality. That would be something that would be worth paying for. But if I still wanted to post something at normal quality showing like my math or my telescope or proving that I'm at a particular location because flat earthers never fucking believe me, that's something I could still do even if the quality looks like shit. And another thing that you could do on it is you can by staying on Blue Sky and linking to let's say a video on YouTube and stuff like that, you're not going to get your shit completely nuked in the algorithm, because there is no algorithm controlled by Blue Sky. Blue Sky actually doesn't control the algorithm. Elon Musk actually made this post where he goes, I did a test. This was someone else talking. I did a test, and it turns out if you link to your YouTube channel or if you link to an article or whatever, which prompts you to leave Twitter, your post gets nuked in terms of its visibility. Elon Musk said, in order to fix that, post your link as a reply to your original tweet. I got an idea, Elon. How about not making that the default?
Yeah, how about not doing that?
How about not doing that? No, he wants people to stay on the platform. And this really pisses me off, by the way.
Oh boy.
This shit because I know why Elon's fucking doing it. If you
Well, you said are you going to bring up like putting Blue Sky in your name?
No, not that. It's something else totally. It's different. So let's say you're watching a video on Twitter. After the video is done playing, it immediately forwards you to a commercial.
I don't know. I have a blue tick, remember?
it does not stop, so that you can. So let's say you and I were hanging out, and I saw this awesome cat video, and I wanted to show you. I watched it all the way through, and I'm about to point the phone at you so you can take a look at it, but you're looking at an ad. That's because it brute forces its way past the end of the video onto the next video, which is always an ad. Every single fucking time. And it didn't used to be that way. So I have a plugin on my browser that automatically pauses the damn thing like a millisecond before it hits the end of the video. I have to add a plugin so it stops doing that. But guess where that plugin doesn't exist? On mobile devices. And I use Twitter on my phone more than I use Twitter on my desktop.
On your computer, yeah.
And I can't put that plugin on my cell phone, so I'm forced to deal with this bullshit, and it makes watching videos frustrating. You're like, oh yeah, cute cat, Raid Shadow Legends! Like, you fucking kidding me. And so right now, at least for now, Blue Sky isn't doing that shit where if it plays all the way through, you want to know what it does? It just starts at the very beginning again. That's the way it should be. The way God intended.
I'd be interested to see what Blue Sky is like in about a year from now.
We'll see. Hopefully they learn from their. They seem to be taking a lot of hints from their community.
I would hope so, because there's a reason that people are leaving Twitter and going over there. So it's nothing but benefit to them to listen to what people want, right?
There is a guy called Paul Frazee, I might be mispronouncing that, and if so, I apologize. Not that he's going to watch this shit anyway, but Paul is one of the leads at Blue Sky, and he is very active on the platform, and when people offer suggestions, I've seen him be very receptive to that. Also, if there's any issues with Blue Sky, he's talking about updates that come out, and believe it or not, he's actually on time with those updates. I've updated the app twice already, and it's gotten better ever since. Or it's gotten better every single time, I should say. So when you have people like that are at the helm, doing the best job they possibly can, taking hints, they are all for it. And the one thing I did see, although I gotta find that post on Blue Sky, but I will find it, Paul did say that everyone is going to have the same character limit forever. And that
hold him to that. Pin that. Put a pin in that.
I hope they follow through with that promise, because if they ever did something similar to Elon's blue tick fiasco, then Blue Sky would be dead to me as well. I would not stay on the platform. I would find something else, because I do not like the two-tiered system. You can offer perks, you can offer benefits, you can offer chat rooms, you can offer quality. What I don't like is people being limited while others are not limited. It makes for a two-tiered system that doesn't promote great conversation. One person gets to steamroll over the other because they have a megaphone attached to a fucking Honda generator, while the other guy has a microphone with no batteries in it. It's bullshit.
So do you plan on eventually completely getting rid of your Twitter account?
No, I'm not going to get rid of it, because I still have
There's
hope.
Too much on there.
I still have hope. And yes, there's a lot of history out there. Do you know how many asses I have kicked on Twitter? That is a trophy collection that I do not just want to throw to the scrap heap. So
yeah,
what I am planning on doing, and what I am going to be doing after this show is done, because I think I've illustrated that I am making the right decision here, at least for me, is that I'm going to just private the account. I'm going to private, and I'm just not going to use it anymore. I'm telling people right now, follow me on Blue Sky. That's where I'm going to be posting all of my shit. I'm much happier there. It's much better over there. And I would say go there if you're for science, if you're for, like crazy cat videos and stuff like that. But if you just want to be pissed off or try to own the libs, welcome as well. But don't go there for political reasons. Don't go on social media for political reasons in the first place. It just makes you an asshole. But if you go there for non-political reasons, it's no different than Twitter, minus the Nazis.
I do enjoy a little bit of rage bait from time to time.
Hey, rage bait is all fine, and if that's what you want, then
I think
by all means go for
it doesn't bother me because I'm not really chronically online like a lot of people. Not saying you, I'm just saying people in general. A lot of people are chronically online, and it definitely messes with people's heads. But I can go on Twitter for 20 minutes and see some cool stuff, see some interesting stuff, see some news, see some stuff that pisses me off, and then I leave.
Yeah, Snow said, I don't even know why my Twitter/X account was deleted completely out of nowhere. Usually they send you an email if your account gets nuked from orbit. If you didn't receive that email, then I can only assume that was a glitch. You should be able to appeal whatever decision they made by going to their help center. Although in order to get to their help center, you need to make a Twitter account.
Yeah, I feel like it's
kind of weird, but okay.
Hard to get kicked off of Twitter.
Well, now, yes.
Maybe.
The only way that you can get kicked off of Twitter is if you say the word cis too many times in a row. It's
or what did you say? You said something else about Elon Musk's jet.
Oh yeah, something. Yeah. Elon Musk also censored a bunch of people who were posting publicly available information about the whereabouts of his private jet, saying that they were suicide coordinates. No, they weren't. Does he think that people on Twitter have access to heat-seeking missiles and they're just going to blast his sorry ass out of the sky? Not a chance in hell. And also, to be clear, this was publicly available information. ATC posts the whereabouts of every single plane out there. You can see it on flightaware.com.
Yeah, that's definitely not private. I've seen a lot of people had that put out there.
I was waiting for my flight at TPA, and my flight was late. I was able to log on to FlightAware, go and look up the tail number on my ticket, and I could see exactly where the plane I was about to get on was, and I could track it all the way here. And the very moment it said it touched down, I looked out the window, and there it was. So I know exactly where every plane is in real time, and Elon Musk can kiss my ass if he thinks otherwise. So it's calling them suicide coordinates, like, oh my god, he's posting publicly available information. How dare he?
Elon is an interesting person.
Well, Mr. Free Speech Absolutist, that's kind of, your own damn fault for buying a social media platform and also buying a private jet, I guess.
So, what do you think of the final experiment that's coming next week? Next week? I believe.
I think it's next week.
A week and a half?
Not exactly sure. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting Witsit has already been preparing his escape route. He's going.
You don't think he's gonna go?
No. I think he's gonna go. When I mean escape route, I'm gonna say
out of flat Earth.
Yeah, he's gonna turn into a geocentrist.
Geocentric, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
He's gonna turn into a geocentrist if he does go, and he's already made that leap almost entirely before he even went there, so that it can't be seen as an own.
Well, I thought it was interesting because I do watch Tim Pool's his like culture war stuff once in a while, just because I like some of the guests that he has on there. And I remember when I heard that, I kind of found out that Witsit was going to be on there because he was talking about it, and he was talking about a platform, and I know that Tim Pool had mentioned it with Alex Stein.
Yeah.
So I remember tuning into it. I didn't know who he had found to bring on the podcast, and I saw that it was your friend, Scott. Yeah. So that was interesting. I'm like, oh, hey. You know what? And it's funny because I think Scott said that he kind of got ambushed. Like, he didn't even know it was going to be a 2-on-1 conversation. He didn't even know that other guy was going to be there, who was an idiot, by the way. But
I told him that Tim Pool is a duplicitous piece of shit, and he should be aware of that before going.
well,
And if
Tim
he,
Pool didn't really have anything to do with it. He just kind of sat there.
yeah, I know it's he's in my opinion he's just a grifting piece of shit that is scared to admit that he's bald. And by the way, FYI, people, listen, Tim Pool, tip from the top, my guy, listen. I too am bald. And guess what? I rock that shit. Don't be scared, my guy.
It's because he's hid it for so long that it's almost like he can't go back now.
It's like listen, dude. I'm gonna help you out, Tim Pool. I'm gonna help you out. Get yourself called the leaf razor. I shave my head every single morning, and butter smooth, looking good, looking clean, looking fresh. Trim up the beard just right. It'll be awesome. You can lose the beanie. Stop being embarrassed. Either
It
that
makes me indefinitely jealous that people can just shave their head. There are so many days where I heavily consider it, but
and here's the thing. Here's the thing. You will never experience the joy of going to a barber shop and getting a hot razor against your scalp. It's a scalpgasm.
Yeah, it sounds really nice.
Is so
although in fairness,
good.
When I get my hair done, I do get like a head massage.
That's great, but nothing beats a
okay,
blade.
I'm trying to make myself feel better here.
A blade going right across the scalp and getting all that shit off. It feels so good. It's like you feel so clean afterwards. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, Temple, is rock your shit. Stop being scared. Lose the beanie. You look fucking...
Not only that, he's getting married. He has a kid on the way. Like, who cares at this? What is he scared of?
Yeah.
There's pictures of him in Florida at, I don't even know. I think he was at Mar-a-Lago, and it's like probably, I don't know, 90 degrees out, and he's sitting there wearing his beanie. Dude, stop.
Just fucking rock your bald ass head, and guess what? No one cares. Joe Rogan rocked it.
Yeah.
And the dude's worth what? 50 something million fucking dollars? You think he gives a shit about his hair now?
He has a really nice looking wife too.
Yeah, so here's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, by the way, did you one of the things for those of you that actually follow Joe Rogan, have you noticed on the back of his head there's a scar going from ear to ear on the back? The reason is because Joe Rogan tried to get a hair transplant.
Yeah.
And he said it was the worst fucking idea he's ever had. And
so I'm assuming it didn't work.
it did not work. It did not work. And I would say, he looks a lot better bald. And I would say a lot of people would look better bald. And you know what, Tim Pool? You would look better bald as well. Just rock that shit and own it. Anyway, moving on.
Somebody in the chat said, isn't Tim Pool smashing Lauren Southern? I'm pretty sure that's Destiny.
I have no idea who's smashing who. But anyway, with all of that being said, this is what I will say about Twitter and Blue Sky. Twitter is a conservative echo chamber because Elon Musk turned it into that. Blue Sky is a progressive / liberal echo chamber because that's the only people that are going the fuck over there.
I agree.
If we look at Patreon, no one really likes Patreon. They're a necessary evil. I don't agree what they did to Sargon of Akkad, where in order to abide by the rules, you had to kiss the ring of the people that were actually controlling the damn thing, and fuck you, you guys are not gods. So I don't agree with the far right, but I also don't agree with the far left. So
I agree.
Here's my actual position. If you ask me, I don't give a shit about your pronouns. I don't give a shit if you think there are 95 genders. I care that you want, like, for example, universal health care, or you want to tax billionaires a higher effective rate so that maybe we can house some homeless veterans with that money. I'm okay with all of that. All right, but the very moment you start telling me that I need to be an ally by dyeing my hair, you can go fuck yourself. One, I don't have any hair to begin with, so you're kind of fucked on that deal. But even if I did have hair, I wouldn't be doing that shit for you. All right, I'm sorry, you can kind of go fuck yourself in that case. So I am politically, yes, I am on the left, and I do agree with a lot of left-wing policies. The key word there is policies. The social shit I can kind of do without. So my thing is that if you're on Twitter and you're posting the social shit about, you know, pronouns and all that stuff, oh yeah, you're going to get absolutely murked. If you want a place where you're not going to get immediately murked with that, then go to Blue Sky. And if you want to just hate your life in general, go on Patreon. That's my opinion on the whole thing. That's the political / you know, human part of the whole thing with the identity politics bullshit. But that's not the reason why I'm leaving Twitter. Once again, it's the two-tiered system. It's the fucked up block button. It's the fucked up like button. It's the fucked up algorithm. It's the fact that the site is buggy as shit. The fact that it's not a free speech platform. It's a paid, elevated speech platform. It's not free speech in any stretch of human imagination. Elon Musk bans certain words like cis or cisgender. He bans journalists. He banned that one guy that was posting publicly available information about his fucking jet. Basically, if Elon Musk doesn't like you, he will ban your ass. And here's the thing. He has every right to do that, but he's on his soapbox saying free speech absolutist. He's not. And he should stop pretending that he is. And when it comes to Blue Sky, you're right. There is no quote-unquote free speech over there either, but I would say that the speech that gets banned is speech that I don't want to see anyway. So I put more value there than I do on Twitter. When it comes to the steps of the Supreme Court, say whatever you want. But when it comes to a social media platform, you're forced to deal with whatever rules they put in place, even if you don't like them. Sucks, but that's the way it is. And Elon Musk wants to do whatever he wants to do with it, so be it. He bought the damn thing for $44 billion with a B dollars. Holy shit, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, that was a lot of money.
What could I do with $44 billion?
I don't know. I often ask myself questions like that.
Just, holy fucking shit. What could I do with $44 billion? But anyway, so that's why I will be leaving Twitter. I will be on Blue Sky, but make sure people understand this very important point. If Blue Sky pulls the same shit with like blue tick accounts and elevating other people's posts and not elevating others and blah 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 and fucking with the algorithm and steamrolling ads across the whole thing and basically making it a fucking mess, I will leave Blue Sky as well. Blue Sky knows what made them successful. They need to not forget that. If they do forget that, then I'm just going to leave. And that's the way it is. I'm not going to give them special treatment. So don't fuck this up, Blue Sky. You have...
Yeah, like I said, that's why it will be interesting as it grows to see how it moves going forward.
Yes. So here's what's going to happen with this stream. I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to leave the stream up, and I'm going to put it all together in a playlist. So the other two videos that I made will be linked down below, so you can watch those to see the 3 trilogy series, whatever the fuck.
The full circle.
Yeah, so you can see everything. As of Twitter, I'm going to make this fair warning. You have until tonight to follow me or to get rid of your blue tick. Not sure if you can do that willingly anymore, but I am going to be privating my account, and I'm going to be, again, blocking all blue tick accounts. But fear not, ladies and gentlemen. If you wish to see my shit, and I do have plans for 2025, this is a really, really expensive telescope. I plan on using it and posting a lot of shit with it. Believe you me, I will be posting more shit. So if you want to see that shit, I will be posting it on Blue Sky. So follow me on Blue Sky, or you can just say screw it, I'm not making a Blue Sky, but I'll still follow you on YouTube and just subscribe to me on YouTube, because whether I announce it or not, I'm gonna post it and you'll still be able to see it. So there's that. But yeah, Twitter is officially dead to me for going tonight. Hi, kitty. How's it going? Yes. I have nothing for you. Sorry.
They're always wanting shit.
Yeah, cat wanted food. But anywho, we have... God damn it, cat. No. everything I love and adore is now covered in cat hair and just wants more. Okay,
That is
anyway.
my life.
As I was saying, yes, I will be posting more shit on YouTube, and I will be announcing shit on Blue Sky. So that will be plans for future observations, future hangouts, talk shows, podcasts, what I'm testing, what I'm, problems I'm trying to figure out with the scope, the optics, whatever the case may be. So if you want to see all of that stuff, then just follow me on Blue Sky. Don't follow me on Twitter because I'm not going to be posting there anymore after today. So that's that. Before we end this, Ashley, do you have any final questions, comments, concerns, anything that I can answer for you?
No. I guess I'd just like to apologize for hastily posting my emotional vomit towards you.
I will just illustrate that you're the one that called it emotional vomit, not me.
All right, that's fine. I take it.
The idea is simple. Is that I just do not like the direction that Twitter is going in. But, ladies and gentlemen, to end the stream, I will say this: if Twitter reverses course, if they get rid of the blue ticks, allow me to toggle certain features on and off again, like, for example, making my likes visible. If they allow the Twitter spaces to be non-glitchy, if my post will post the first time without me having to jab the damn thing through, it seems. If Twitter fixes their shit, I'm going to be right back on Twitter. That's the way it is, honestly. Because I do not think Blue Sky is going to catch up to Twitter in terms of population for years. I think as of right now, I think Twitter has around 400 some odd million users. Blue Sky has around 23 million. So Twitter is definitely the place to be if you just want, an available population for your post to get your message out there. So Twitter would be the better place to be, but because they've made the site so shit to use, at this point, I really don't care. So I'm going to be on Blue Sky until further notice. And if Blue Sky starts fucking up, I'll go somewhere else. But with that, that's pretty much it. Anything you would like to say before we head off?
I was just going to say, if there's anyone that's listening that is more leaning conservative and they don't want to go over to Blue Sky, just go over there. Like Red said, you can completely control your algorithm and what's on there. I don't see any crazy stuff on there unless I actively go and search for it. But it is a good app if you like to see only what you want to see, like he was mentioning. Twitter, it will fill your feed with a bunch of trash. And I don't. I can go to my feed right now and I only see the stuff that I would really like to see, and I can see the likes and I can follow people that like it, and it will only be an echo chamber as long as it stays that way. But I have no problem with people that are more right-leaning or conservative going there. And if you are going to go over there, don't be an idiot and say dumb things.
Yeah. Let me ask this. Maybe someone else can decipher this for me. At Resray, as someone who is a national S, what can you show me to change my mind? Honest question. I don't know what that is.
A nationalist? I don't know.
Are they talking about a white nationalist?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. You know what? Hit me up on Blue Sky. We'll talk more about it there. That is, if you make an account over there, we'll see what happens. Anyway, so with that, let's go ahead and clear out. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, and thank you, Ashley, for being here. Again, follow me on Blue Sky, and we will continue the conversation. So peace out, and bye-bye.